Do it right, build wealth, live life, economic empowerment, real tips, insight on the new Black Wall Street. It's on the new Black Wall Street. Here's your host. The new Black.
What's going on, man? Good evening to you. Thanks so much for joining us here today at New Black Wall Street, man, with our special presentation, which is called Black Man Monday. This is just a time where I, your host, ERGJ, your certified financial educator, CEO of ERGJ Enterprises, the Black Bazaar, founder of the Black Billionaires Club, author of the Black Billionaires Club as well. I just look to highlight brothers that have inspired me to be great. And so my whole goal with this broadcast is, number one, to bring awareness to some brothers that are doing positive things in our community. But then number two, to connect networks to networks. There are some people that I'm connected to that you need to be connected to, or that you or people that I'm connected to that you know somebody else that need to be connected to. And so I think we got to do a better job of filling these holes where we are just kind of operating the silos and begin to know who's around us, who we're connected to. Because we're only about, right now, we're probably about 3 degrees of separation from who we need to know to help us take it to the next level. And so that's what this is all about. Obviously, Black Man Monday, we want to lift up the Black man, let him know that he's a very valuable and important to our community, to our sustainability, to our progress as well. And so I want to make sure that we do a good job of letting any brother that might be tuning in tonight or might watch the replay, that he is valuable and important. And so that's a big part of what we do tonight, what we do on this broadcast. And so tonight we're going to have 2 brothers that's going to be sharing with us. We have a sales expert, and then we also have a brand strategist. So if you are in need of selling more stuff, you got a business or you got an idea, you want to learn how to sell that thing, or if you find yourself in a position where you need to polish your brand, your social media brand, your internet brand, or anything like that, great space for you to be tonight to connect and even ask some questions if you have for the brothers that will be here tonight. But this is not a me show. This is a we show. And so we're going to get this thing popping with our first guest. I'm going to introduce you guys. But first, let me find out who's here. I want you to go ahead and in the comments below, hit that like button. Let us know where you're connecting from, what city, what state, what country, what city, what state, what country you might be connecting from. Also hit the like button, the share button, and tag a brother. I want you to go ahead and tag a brother. Let them know, man, this show is for him, to know that there are other brothers that care about him and his success as well. Before we get started with our show, we'll have a quick ad break from the Black Bazaar. We will be right back with our first guest.
Oh, yeah.
All right, man. Be black, shop black, man. By simply going to the website, www.theblackbazaar.com, ERGJ, the Black Bazaar. I want you guys to remember that once you shop black, you never go back. That's right. Once you shop black, you never go back, man. You continue to support your brothers, and we're going to continue to do great things. Hey, I want to bring you guys our first guest. Let me catch up with these comments. I'll bring them on in. What's going on, Marcus Bailey? Definitely got to get you on. I know you're doing some great things out there in Seattle. Definitely want to, bring you on as well. I love to do that as the kids in the house. Thanks so much for joining tonight. We got Seattle representing. Kanata, what's up with you? College Station, Texas. Thanks so much. Miss Vivian Reed is in the house. Brooklyn, New York as well. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Anybody else that might be with us here tonight, we appreciate you tuning in tonight to celebrate and honor and support the Black man. Hey, man, my guest here, man, this is a brother, one of my OGs, I'm going to call him, man. Cigar smoking, cool cat. We always go back and forth. We always are kind of iron sharpers iron in a sense. I thought I was great. I thought I was a great salesman until I met this brother. I was a wonderful salesman, but he's helped me become a master salesman. And so I want to definitely bring him on as well. But not just that. He's a father, a husband. And I would always say he's just he has a pleasant attitude, a pleasant, pleasing attitude. I don't know anybody that could be around him and not smile. And so that's one thing about his attitude is what really speaks to me. His personality really what speaks to me. And again, I just want to bring people to you guys that inspire me, and hopefully they inspire you. Yes, that's right. He's a rhino. And we're both rhinos. Rhinos are people that charge, they go forward no matter what. He'll probably talk to us a little bit about that here tonight. But this is my brother from North Carolina. This is Brian K. McNeill, the sales confidence coach. Let me bring him on into the stream. Brother, what's going on with you, man?
Man, does Evan bring you out, or does Evan know how to bring somebody out? Man, is there anybody else in this room?
Good job, man. Happy New Year 2021. Hopefully it's already been great for you. Thanks so much for joining us here tonight. Black Man Monday. It's not the first time being here, but we definitely said 2021, we got to keep bring this show back and keep it going, because there's a whole bunch of brothers that need to be highlighted. A whole bunch of brothers need to bring them out into the forefront, let people know who they are, and let them see it as well. Man, tell us a little bit about yourself, man. Who you are, what you do, and why you do what you do.
Well, it's hard out here for a pimp. No. My name is Brian K. McNeill. Brian K. McNeill, if you look me up. And I am the sales confidence coach. And I do believe in Evan's show. I want to tell you, brother, my job is to help people to sell themselves and their services better than ever have before. Evan does a fantastic job of bringing me out. I'm also an author. I've written 4 great books on how to sell yourself and your services. I do want to say, when I was watching the commercial there, you have some products that I use religiously, like that bamboo charcoal toothpaste. I am a cigar smoker, a cigar enthusiast, and I do 1 or 2 daily. And that bamboo charcoal toothpaste does a great job of keeping me from being offensive to my wife. So I believe in that product. And if anyone else wants to keep fresh breath in the evenings, use that bamboo charcoal toothpaste. I want to say that up front.
Absolutely, man. Well, thanks so much for joining, man. We're going to really just dive. This show is really all about, this time is really all about you, man. And so I want to take a moment to, there's a couple of things I wanted to ask. I kind of know a little bit more about you than most people, but really as we kind of turn the year to 2021, first I want to go back to 2020. First I want to ask you this, what really motivates you, inspires you to be great when it comes to sales?
I'm a believer, first off, and that's a great question. I believe that God has uniquely gifted and qualified and prepared me, and I'm supposed to. I think through my life experiences, through my life study, I am here on this earth to help entrepreneurs to sell themselves and their services better. And if I don't do it, I feel like I'm like that servant with the one talent that hid it in the ground. And if you hide your talent in the ground, then you're going to be banished into the outer courts where there's going to be weeping and gnashing of the teeth. So I'm here to do that. And I do believe that everyone has some kind of gifting, some kind of skill, some kind of talent, that they're here on earth because they're supposed to share it with someone else. They're supposed to do that. And you don't want to be a secret agent. Hide your gift. You don't want to do that. So I don't hide my gift. I share it as freely as I can. I profit wonderfully for it. I appreciate you bringing up 2020, because if you look at it in the whole, it was an ugly, ugly year with racial protests, with the craziness in the political office, with the pandemic. It was an ugly year, but my personal income doubled. My income doubled during the pandemic. And I will tell you, and I equate it to, thank you very much, Marcus. I will tell you, learning to embrace the technology, learning to embrace the tools we have has made all the difference. At one time, doctors made house calls and they could see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people a day. But when they stopped doing that, now they can see 90 patients a day. And guess what happens to their income? It skyrocketed. When I stopped trying to go everywhere because of the pandemic and embraced the technology and gave a whole lot more classes online and doing everything via Zoom and other means just like that, my income doubled for the year. And I thought I had a pretty good year the year before. So I'm happy about that. And I do believe that what's available to me is available to everyone. I do believe of the skills that we need to navigate our life. I think the two most important skills, one is the ability to communicate, articulate your thoughts so that people understand you. But the other one is, and is 1 and 1A, the ability to sell. I think the ability to sell has more to do with your happiness or sadness, success or failure, prosperity or poverty than anything else. And you owe it to yourself to learn how to sell yourself and your ideas better than you ever have before, so that you can earn more money than ever before. I appreciate this window because I do believe that money is the key to end all your woes. Come on now. I am old school.
I'm an OG. So let me ask you this, man, because many people, they have this fear of selling, or the word selling, or maybe what's associated with it when they watch the movies or something like that. Right. Man. So what would you say to those folks that's like they when you just bring up the word sell, it's like a 4-letter cuss word to them?
Yeah. And what that is that now at one time in this country, salespeople had advantage over consumers because they knew more. But that pendulum is gone. But you don't know more than your clients do. Very often your clients know as much as you, if not more than you. Now, so today's salesperson cannot get away with just saying anything and everything. So they have to be more scrupulous than they've ever been before. They have to be more honest than ever have been before. There's a lot of people still have that negative connotation in their head. It's because they're thinking of themselves, particularly entrepreneurs. They don't want to, what I'm about to say is not going to sound pretty. For the sake of not coming across as salespeople, they've gone so far right because they don't want to come across as salespeople that they've become super wimpy today. Entrepreneurs have gotten very wimpy where they don't ask for business at all. What they do is they share what they do. I do this, this, and this. And then they sit back and hope that the client will say, hey, I really like what you do. Can I buy from you? Can I hire you? And that's what's called low probability selling. You're not going to earn money like that unless you learn how to ask for what you want, ask specifically. And there are ways for you to sell yourself and your services that feel authentic to you, that can get the point across. And you just need to learn how. You kind of owe it to yourself. So those people who hate the idea of sales and salespeople is because they don't understand the game. They don't understand the game. If you see someone trying to high pressure someone, it's because they're doing it incorrectly. They don't understand how to do it. You can maintain your true integrity and outsell anyone else by being because first off, everybody's bullcrap meter is set on high. Everybody's. And everybody can tell if you're sincere or not, or if you mean what you say or not, or if you're being honest or not. So don't even try. Don't offer anything that you don't truly believe in. Don't even mention stuff that you don't truly believe in, because everybody can tell.
Mm-hmm. And here's the interesting thing, bro, because even we just focus on entrepreneurship, but just the art of conveying your beliefs and getting others to buy in. Because it may not necessarily be that you're looking to start a business or anything like that. It just could be an idea that you're trying to get other people to adopt, or it could be in church, it could be at the bank.
If you live around people, if you live around anybody, if you have anybody in your home or in your work, the person who sells the best is the one that gets ahead. And there's no way of getting around that in this country. You don't even have to be better at someone else. Someone else could be better than you at something, but if you can sell better than them, you can win. Get your kids to go to bed on time, learning how to sell. To get your wife to go out on a date with you that she may not want to go on right away. That's selling. Selling is, the transference of energy, transference of enthusiasm. And I will tell you this, Evan, selling today, the way we do it in 2020 and 21, is more of a motivational act than it is a transactional act. Motivating people to take an action. That's what I believe selling is today. It's not get them to buy. Can you motivate them to take an action? And motivation to me is a two-way street. It's internal and external. They have to be somewhat motivated within themselves, but someone external has to be able to light that fuse and that fire to get them to take an action. So it's a motivational act.
Wow, man. And I'm just thinking about so many people that's tuned in, and then maybe watching later that I'm connected to. Is there anybody out there who couldn't use who couldn't use more money? You know what I'm saying? Is there anybody out there who couldn't use more customers or more clients or more buyers or more friends or anything like that. I don't think there's anybody out there who couldn't use more of something like that. And one of those ways that you get that is learning how to get people to move. Right now, brother Brian. Now, was there something last year? Because you mentioned embracing technology. Did you have to be sold on that?
You know, two things. And I'm gonna be very transparent with you. In March, when the pandemic hit, I wasn't ready for it. I know some people say they were, but I wasn't. Okay, and a lot of us weren't ready for it. So it took me. I was off balance for a little bit. But my beautiful, amazing wife, she learned about e-commerce, and you were one of the people that was teaching it to her. E-commerce stores. And what I learned from her and from you and from our friend Sir Markadu is things that I do, I could also sell in the e-commerce store. Like, for example, I adopted a product called Cigar Smell Rescue. I started selling products online that have to do with cigars and people that smoke cigars not being offensive, with the bamboo toothpaste, with the Cigar Smell Rescue spray, all those kinds of things. And what it did for me is it taught me, I can have part of my business be product-based instead of just service-based. You know, products can keep you afloat. Products are meat and potatoes. They keep bills paid. They keep lights paid in the pursuit of a sale. You know, and I really believe that all of us, in addition to whatever business we do, we should also all have some sort of an e-commerce store. That's something I've learned in 2020. Embracing e-commerce, embracing Zoom, embracing those ways of getting paid. I had to adopt more than one way to get paid, you know, because I want to make it very easy for people to give me money. Okay.
Wow. So 2020 was a year where you basically adjusted, and
yes.
It caused you to be a little bit more creative in the way in which you approach things or had done things in the past.
And my income doubled.
So tell me a little bit about, what you got coming up, 2021, this year of some people call it the year of recovery, or whatever the case may be. But do you got some things coming up? What's some things that might be of interest to some people? You mentioned to me before we came on that Monday is going to be a busy day. So I imagine that you got a lot going on Mondays.
Monday is going to be very busy starting next week, Monday for me. I have an online selling your services school. It's called the Selling Your Services Academy. And I used to do it on Wednesday nights, but now I'm going to start doing it on Monday nights. I used to do these things called Monday Night Sales Mastery. I have invested more money in 2020 in hiring coaches and taking training than I ever have before. So when you start hiring trainers and hiring coaches, you get exposed to different ways of doing things. So I'm revamping my business. For example, the moniker of the sales confidence coach. One of my coaches and trainers told me, start asking my clients, what is it that you really get from me? And I have literally hundreds of testimonials over the years. And I'm looking through my testimonials, and this word kept coming up. Brian makes me feel more confident about my ability to earn $1 and getting and staying profitable. So I'm rebranding myself. I know you have a brandologist coming in later, a good friend of mine, Cortez Springer. But my brand is not just the sales coach anymore. I'm the sales confidence coach. And I infuse within these folks the skills they need to sell themselves, but also so they can be super confident in their abilities to earn money and stay profitable. So they never have to run that risk of, oh my God, I'm gonna have to go get a job. Okay.
Wow, that's awesome, man. You just gave a good little tip for some people. You said, hey, I looked back at my testimonials and what people have said. I kind of reviewed feedback that I've gotten from people that have paid me to help them. And there was something consistent. There was a string of consistency there that I said, okay, this must. Here's the thing. It's very interesting because I tell people, if you just pay attention to what others say about you, sometimes how you see yourself is different than how people are receiving you. And so you're able to do that.
Right. And we can't see it. No one can. That's why you have to have coaches, mentors, and people that care about you. No one has ever achieved great levels of success in anything, not in business, not in sports, not in the arts, nothing without great coaching and mentoring. I wouldn't have thought to change my moniker. I was very happy saying I'm a sales coach. but the sales confidence coach has more reach and is doing better for me than just the regular sales coach. But I wouldn't have thought to do that unless someone suggested it to me.
Wow, it has more reach. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you this, brother McNeill, because it's Black Man Monday.
Love it.
Love for you to share with me a man that either had a great impact on you as a salesman or just had a big impact on you as a man, who you are today.
I grew up like a lot of folks on here where my family never had any money. I grew up in Brooklyn, New York. None of my uncles, not my dad, my mom, we never had money growing up. So I did have and I had a spender's mentality, Evan. Maybe you know someone who did that. I felt like any money I got, I'm supposed to spend it right away, just in case it got away, So I had to, in my age 23 is when my journey began. I picked up a book on how to sell because I needed to earn some money. And my mentors were the people I read about, like Tom Hopkins and Zig Ziglar and James W. Pickens, a lot of great minds. And in my adult life, people like Dennis Kimbrough, those people mean a lot to me because they're willing to talk to me, and they're willing to help me out. So getting around those kinds of people, and if you can't get in touch with them personally, read their stuff. I am a Black man, and for 12 years of my life, I was an over-the-road salesman. I went out on sales calls for 12 years. And I knew once or twice, maybe 3 times a month, I missed the sale just because of the beautiful color of my skin. I got there and they saw, dang, it's a Black man. They weren't with it. Okay. And that was my reality in the 90s. And so I understood that I had to learn how to sell to them as well. Because you can't not live around them. Now, I like doing as much business as I can with usins, but I'm also respectful and learn that I'm not going to compromise my dollar because of things like race. I can make money with any race, and so can you. Mentors, I read about them. And here's the other key, Evan, is I keep myself, and I want you guys to all do this because nobody can stop you from doing this, but I keep myself in a constant learning mode. Keep yourself in green and growing. If you're in business, I'm of the opinion you should be studying your craft 30 minutes to an hour on every day that you go to work. If you're working, you should be studying, either reading or YouTube videos or talking to a coach or talking to a peer mentor or somebody to get better. If you keep working on your game, if you keep working to get smarter and better, even a little bit per week, just a little bit better this week than last week, what happens after 4, 5, 6 weeks, you're not just a little bit better, you're a lot better. But keeping that thing going, we all can have an amazing 2021, but we have to decide to. We got to start studying, and we cannot do it in our own strength. I want to say this one more thing too. Any of the entrepreneurs on here, if you're trying to build your business and you're the only one that's inputting in your business, if you're building it in your own strength, answering all your own questions, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it the hard way. You're hurting your progress. You need to involve other great minds. Very, very few people can hold themselves accountable. Most of us need to bounce stuff off of and be accountable to others around us. Most of us.
Absolutely, man. I got like 3 more questions, but we'll see how many we get in. So tell me this: how how you just mentioned studying, and again, it's Black Man Monday, man. How important is it for the Black man to read? Because you just mentioned 4, 5, 6 different people that helped you at 23 become a phenomenal salesman. And
yes.
The moniker is that Black folk don't read. But of course, we got a new Black Wall Street book club. But talk about the value of picking up those books or ebooks or whatever the case may be.
If you don't read, you're not going to win today, period. No one's going to stop you from reading. Read a page at a time. You don't read books at a time. You read a page. You read a page or 2, and watch a YouTube video about the book or listen to the book. Here's the critical part about reading, though. If you will read, you start talking more like what you're reading. If you don't read, you talk like the people around you. Now, you've heard it said many a times that most of us are the average of the 5 people that we talk to the most, who we're around the most. And if those 5 people around you are broke, then you'll be the 6th. but I don't know anybody that's making a lot of money. Yes, you do know people that are making a lot of money. You can read about these people. You can watch their videos. You can consume what they consume and become part of that. You have to. Your vocabulary matters. Your ability to articulate a thought matters. Your ability even to listen matters. And you will learn all of that by cracking a book or watching a good YouTube video that's something that's going to teach you something daily. If you don't work on Sundays, you don't have to do it on Sundays. But any day that you work, you should spend some time studying. And I encourage you to do it before you begin your game, because you start your workday warmed up. If you will read 30 minutes to an hour before you start your business, start your work, warm your mind up and go rock.
You can start a thing mentally on fire, man. It can help boost your creativity because you're already thinking about, in your space of what you do. Let me ask you,
are you competitive? Do you want to win? If you want to win, that's the thing.
So, Brian, man, what does you got this picture behind you? I got the same picture behind me.
I love it.
What does that animal mean to you, man?
I'm gonna tell you the story, but first off, thank you for it. I love it. This is my favorite background, the rhino, and the rhino means to me, it means go to work. Okay, I'm gonna show you this here. Now I have a great book. It's a not just for children's book called Why Rhinos Make Great Salespeople. Okay, this is what it looks like here. Why rhinos make great salespeople, and it's metaphors.
I read a book for you. As you get into that, I need to purchase that book because I'm gonna be reading that book on our New Black Wall Street Book Club.
I thought I gave you one when I was there, but I'll give you another.
Okay.
But I'm happy to send it.
Go ahead.
You don't owe me any money. I'll just send it to you. Okay. But let me tell you this though. I look at the rhino metaphors. There was a great book written in 1980 by a guy named Scott Alexander called Rhinoceros Success. And in that book, he's comparing rhinos to cows. A cow can spend his whole life in the same field as long as it's got enough food to eat and water to drink, never even wonder what's over the hill. Whereas a rhino doesn't work like that. Rhinos have to charge after things. Rhinos put fires out. And then I saw a National Geographic special doing some comparisons about rhinos. And I came up with this story about why rhinos make great salespeople. And I've been telling this story for more than 20 years. But rhinos, for one thing, they have thick skins. And some places on their body, the skin is 2 inches thick. And what I equate that to is just like the rhino in business, I don't take things personally. I got a thick skin. I know they're not rejecting me as a person, they're rejecting my offers. So if they don't hire me or don't buy from me, it doesn't bother me as much. Rhinos are physically strong, which I equate to being determined. Rhinos have amazing hearing, which I equate to being a great listener. I do believe you can listen yourself into more business than you can talk yourself into. Rhinos have horrible eyesight. They can't see very well. And I equate that to, they don't even notice little stuff that can get in the way. Little bushes, little irritants. It's too hot out, too cold out. They may not like me, blah, blah, blah. Rhinos don't even see that little stuff to keep them from where they're going. And where you're going is to go into profitability, to make your money. Little stuff. Rhinos don't even see it. But the last two things about the rhinos are the horns. The little horn in the beginning. Let me do this one here. The little horn and the big horn. I use the horns to illustrate your goals. And the way the rhino's eyes are, he can't look anywhere without seeing past his horns or past his goals. So I see the little horn as the little goals that you must accomplish before you get to your big goal, which is your ultimate objective. So rhinos keep their goals before them. And it's hard out here to hit a target that you can't see. And it's even harder to hit a target that you don't have. You must set some kind of targets for yourself for this week, this month. And the last thing is the way a rhino's legs work. Because a rhino is physically unable to walk backwards. They can turn around, but they can't back up. So if you're going for your goal, or if you're going for your objective, the way a rhino would go for it, the only physical option you have is to continue forward until you reach your objective. This is a philosophy of me. I have several rhinos in my house, plus this wall hanging. I got at least one rhino in every room. And what it means to me is, Brother Brian, go to work.
Man, go to work, man. Brian, if you could, there's got a lot of people that's asking about the book. Obviously, we're going to be read that book on the New Black Wall Street Book Club. You could put a link or how people can find you in the comments. and then I'll post that for everybody. And then my last question before we bring on our next guest, man, is what is your 2021 what is it called? Benefact for the black man. I can't even think of the word. What do you got to say to the black man for 2021, brother? Other than go to work.
I'll say this to the black man. First off, you are very important. Your mindset is important. And I will tell you this, Evan, the older I get, the more and more I understand that the way we think about things matters above all else. The way we think about our own money, the way we think about our own fitness, the way we think about our family relationships, that matters more. The mindset, even me, as awesome as I am at training people on how to sell, if their mindset is not ready to receive it or to believe it, it's not going to carry as far. So a large part of my work is getting them to believe, the black man, particularly the black woman, particularly, to believe that you can earn 10, 15, 20, 25, $35,000 per month. Or 50 grand per month. You can do that per month, not per year. Just changing that thought process. To earn 6, 8, 10, 12 grand per month, first off, it starts with desire. You got to want to. And black man, Evan asked me to talk to you. First off, want to, and want more, and then go forward and be prosperous.
Absolutely, man. So, Brian, again, if you could, chat with me. I'll
put it in your private chat, then you can share. How about that?
Yeah, absolutely. And then you guys want to hear your feedback from Brother Brian, man, go ahead and put in the chat, man. Things that you got from him. Go ahead and show your appreciation for Brother Brian K. McNeill, the sales confidence coach is up in the house, and we will be right back, bringing in our next guest. Yes, that is the Black Billionaires Club. I am the author of it. I'll be working on a book version number 2 this year. You can check out the first version by simply going to the website, www.theblackbillionairesclub.com. Also there, you'll find a space that you can join us. Brother Brian is a BBC member, as well as our next guest as well. And this is where we got brothers and sisters that just get together that's serious about building wealth and building businesses. So if you're saying you want to get around a crowd, you want to get around a crowd that's serious about that thing. You want to be around like-minded people, and that's your mindset. Well, we look forward to you joining us at the Black Billionaires Club. Again, that's theblackbillionairesclub.com, theblackbillionairesclub.com. All right, this is Black Man Monday, man. Everybody putting accounts on Black Man. We got another Black man coming up here. Let me go ahead and get you guys these links for where you can actually follow Brother McNeill. And then also, if you want to pick up that book, we will be picking up that book in our book club. So if you want to join us there, we do a book club. Because the link goes, okay. I don't know what's going on with the link there. But anyway, we do a book club at 8 a.m. We're going to be doing that Monday through Friday. All right, it's going to be on ERDJ Enterprises. Wow, Brian, you got a lot of stuff that's saying they won't let you post on Facebook, your websites. Okay, good. That should work. All right, fantastic. So you can go check out there. So we do have a book club every day, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will be getting into what makes a great Rhino, what makes a great salesman as well. We'll pick that up, probably our third book that we'll read. So you got time to get it and join us for the book club. Man, this next brother, I don't know what to say about him, man. We've been rolling for a little minute. Again, this is a show where I just want to continue to just highlight brothers that have inspired me to be great, and also bring attention to them for you, because they may be able to offer something that's going to be valuable to help you get to the next level. And so, everyone you'll see on this show are people that's helped me get to the next level one way or another, and hopefully I've helped them. But this brother, man, he is another coach, the quintessential coach And I don't know how these brothers keep these attitudes that they got, but they always get me back in line when I'm ready to go off on somebody. I mean, I'm just gonna try to tell you. I mean, because I'm a little bit rambunctious. Maybe I'm the young buck in the crew. I don't know, but they always pull me back. They bring me back on in. And this is one of those brothers as well. He is the financial health mentor. We got connected because we both are serious about helping our brothers and sisters to grow in wealth and financial literacy. But he's taking it to a whole nother level, man. He's taking his brand and he's got into streaming, he got into marketing, he got into sales, and he's really created his own entity through all these different outlets that he has. And I call him a brand strategist, but he'll be able to kind of define what it is he brings to the table for people. He's an author, he's a dad, a husband, my good friend, my main man, H. Cortez is in the house, man. Let me bring him to the stream here on the New Black Wall Street, Black Man Monday. Y'all better get your popcorn ready. What is going on, man?
ERGJ, my brother. What's going on, man? Thanks for having me again on Black Man Monday, man. Thanks for having Black Man Mondays, brother, because it's needed, man. I love what you're doing, man. The executioner is what I call you, man, because you always executing, brother.
Man, I appreciate it, man. Thanks so much for joining us, man. The coach is in the house, man. I thank you for taking the time. I know you had a previous engagement, so you are here to kind of share with us. And as I said, I'm this whole thing for me is all about just bringing inspiration to our people, especially on Black Man Monday, to the black man, so he knows that it's some bros out there. He knows he's not by himself, he's not alone, and even if he's down, he can lean on us in a sense, man. But if you could, man, I call you brand strategist now at this point. You've evolved over time. I've seen the evolution of your enterprise. But if you could, man, try to tell us, because it's so much, who you are, what you do, and why you do what you do, man.
Yes, sir, man. I am H. Cortez, also known as the one and only financial health mentor from personalbranding365.com. And my whole mission, Evan, is to empower working Americans, especially those who look like us, economically through financial literacy. But my emphasis is on personal brand development and entrepreneurship, because we have a tool, Evan, that is just shy of just over 25 years old, called the internet, that has literally leveled the playing field. And to be honest, it has removed all excuses for not having some sort of business and creating your own income streams. So the financial literacy piece is, you need to understand how money works in this economy, taxes, debt, credit, but more importantly, you need to understand how to position yourself in this economy as an entrepreneur, because the rules are quite different, as you know, for entrepreneurs, landowners, and investors than they are for the everyday average American. So I want everybody to know that you can be an entrepreneur, and the internet has leveled the playing field. It's just a matter of learning how to use this tool to the best of your ability.
Man, I'm glad you said that, because I got two things for you. But sometimes that word entrepreneur kind of scares people, but I don't think that many people really understand. It's simply sharing with other people what you love to do, and then you get paid for it, right? And we use this moniker, man. If you get paid to do what you love to do, how great would that be? But too often, people are not willing to share what they do. Maybe it's a privacy thing. It's like Brother Brian was talking about hiding your gift and things like that. But I found, man, let me tell you something. I saw a lady, I got a new client, a new customer. She was telling me her story. She said, you know what? I just got online and I just wanted to have some fun, right? And then she started getting online, sharing. They put a little skit together and all this stuff. Next thing they know, they got 40,000 subscribers to their little thing that they do. And now she's like, I want to make sure it stay fun. And I'm like, all you did was put it out there. And next thing you know, you built it and the people came. And I find too many people who simply won't put it out there, or maybe they're trying to perfect it, or maybe they don't think they're ready, or whatever the case may be. So talk to us about how you encourage people to share their gift.
Yeah, you are right. So many people think it has to be perfect, right? And I saw your post from earlier today or yesterday. You said, man, listen, I'm going to get it good enough and I'm going to put it out. And then I'm going to perfect it when I'm making money with it. And that's the whole goal, man. It is sharing your gifts with the world. If you think about it, from an investment standpoint, it is the ultimate infinite return, right? God gave you a gift, talent, special ability. You acquire some knowledge for free, and you get to turn that into income streams over and over and over and over again. So one of the things that I do, and you say this a lot in the community, man, start where you are with what you have, but know that it is enough. The issue that a lot of people have, though, Brother Evan, is the things that we are really good at, they come natural to us. They come easy to us. So we don't see the value in those things. Therefore, we tend to give those things away for free. But there's a reason that everybody you know comes to you to ask you about this specific subject matter, because they see the value in it. And all you got to do is package it, present it to the marketplace, and put a price tag on it. And trust me, people will pay for it.
Man, the comments below for everybody that's watching us live here tonight, I'd love for you to share with us what's the one thing that people keep coming to you about. That's what I want to know. What's the one thing that people keep coming to you about, asking you about, trying to get your advice about, your opinion about, your help about? What's one of those things? I know it might be multiple for you, but for our audience that's watching live, I'd love to know, man, what are people coming to you for? Matter of fact, Brother Cortez, what are people coming to you for?
It's usually branding and marketing these days. You're right. I started out really just teaching the benefits and the power of having a home-based business. And I did that so well through the Financial Health Mentor brand that people started saying, brother, what the heck are you doing to amass all these followers? You're live all the time. Your stuff seems to go viral. What is the secret sauce? What are you doing? What are the tricks of the trade, so to speak? And that's where my book, Monetize My Life, came from, because I was like, when you look at someone like Oprah Winfrey, you look at someone like Rachel Ray, you look at somebody like Martha Stewart, do you realize these folks get paid for just being who they are? Rachel Ray, if she was not the Rachel Ray that we know, she'd be in her kitchen cooking all these little meals and stuff for her family. But now she figured out, if I share my gifts to the world, I can get paid for doing the stuff that I already love to do. So if you're watching right now, I'm going to give you the formula right now. And it is not a hard formula. I'm going to give you two. First one is cash, asset, cash. Every time you get your hands on some cash, you peel off some of it and you buy, build, or invest in an asset that's going to bring you more cash. When you do that, you start building wealth on autopilot. And then those of you who haven't figured out how to monetize your gifts yet, man, this is all successful people do. Entrepreneurs, wealthy people, they find one or two ways, Evan, to get paid for one or two things that they love to do. And then they build a brand or a system around it. And that's it. That's it. Everybody listening to the sound of our voices have one or two things that if they really thought about it, they could get paid one or two ways for teaching people about what that thing is, sharing their gifts, why they're passionate about it, how they use it, how it changed their lives, how it transformed them, how they can use it to help other people. Find one or two ways to get paid for one or two things that you love to do, then build a brand and a system around it, and you're off to the races.
Man, Brother Cortez, man, I want to ask you about 2020, man. What was a phenomenal thing for you from this passion that just took place? And then that follow-up question for you is, what do you got coming down the pipe for 2021?
So 2020, it let me know I was on the right path, because while a lot of people were in contraction mode, because of the way I positioned myself, I was actually in expansion mode, because when everybody was losing jobs and hours getting cut and all of that kind of stuff, people started looking for a home-based business. They started looking for, how do I become an affiliate marketer? How do I use this internet to make money? How do I make money on social media? And guess who they found? They found me. So that let me know that I was on the right track and positioning myself. But at the same time, Evan, these last 20 days or so were hell, because I got COVID right at the end of last year, right before Christmas. And when I tell you, brother, I was down for 10 straight days. It just drained me, wiped me out. I was blessed in the sense that most of my income is residual. So it didn't affect my income, right? But at the same time, when you get sick like that at any level, it affects your mentals, because you start thinking about your mortality. And I'm like, wait a minute. If this thing were to take me out of here, am I really ready? Is my family really ready? Did I build the legacy that I swore I would build for my wife? And if I didn't, did I do all I could to get it done? And when I looked myself in the mirror, Evan, and I asked and answered that question, it was simple. I had not. And I had to face that and say, well, listen, what's going to be different in 2021? And what I've got coming down the pipe is more of the branding and the marketing tools and resources that you can use. In fact, I just released Personal Branding 365. It's a $7 ebook with video resources on all the tools that I use in my business. And I'm actually building out a separate course that's going to take people to a whole nother level to complement that Personal Branding 365. So I want to serve more, I want to live more, and I want to build bigger than I ever have before in 2021.
Man, absolutely phenomenal, man. And again, it's interesting because this branding and marketing, although you still, the financial health mentor is your moniker, this is a whole nother lane that what I like to call like success leaves clues. Like, this is the space that I see for you to continue to even take it to a whole nother level, because that's the real hot need. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's the real hot need to even get to the money. And then you can work with them on how to manage that money. You know what I mean? So I just really see that, and I've seen your work, and that's been absolutely phenomenal, man. This is a Black Man Monday, but I'd love to know a little bit about what's kind of got you to the space, especially in the personal brand, the branding and the marketing. What got you there? Maybe who inspired you, and some Black man that inspired you in business to keep doing what you've been doing.
Yeah. Well, I got to give it up to you, Evan, man, because every time I turn around, I see you executing, man. I am so serious. When I call you the executioner, brother, I'm like, dude knows how to put a plan together, focus in, and flat out execute and see it to the end. So when I watch brothers like you, I watch brothers like Prince, I'm watching Brian Keith. I know he just recently released his sales coaching program. And I'm looking at guys like you. It's humbling to know that, man, we just a bunch of brothers who are just trying to impact the world, right? But when I got my start, Evan, I always knew that the online marketing world is where I was going to play. I didn't have any real direction until I met a guy named Brian Bean, introduced me to a guy named Ivy Stokes, and I got to understand the core principles of what's holding most people back financially. and then the best solution to help people overcome those things. And that's when my passion and my skill set came together. And that's when I started having success online. Then, because I was so passionate about delivering that message of economic empowerment, it made me double down on the studying of branding and marketing and YouTube and Facebook and really getting the most out of these platforms, right? And then I see a Dr. Boyce Watkins doing his thing with all of his schools and his academies. I see a Dr. Dennis Kimbrough and a brother George C. Frazier, who I got the pleasure of taking a picture with and seeing him live when he came to St. Louis. And I'm seeing how these guys are impacting our community, and they're all in the same space of economic empowerment. And for the most part, helping us understand the power of leveraging entrepreneurship, because not only what it could do for your family, but imagine putting yourself in position to where you can hire 100, 200, 500, 1,000 brothers and sisters to help you build your enterprise and how you can help them feed their family. So those are some of the brothers who inspire me in this online space. Someone who is really crushing it in the online space right now is my guy Myron Golden, from the trash man to the cash man. He's someone who really helped me to see how to use sales funnels and things of that nature and really build systems around what it is that you're doing. So those are some of the people that I look to in the space where I am, but also I see how they built their enterprises and see where they're going. And it keeps me inspired, keeps me motivated to keep pushing.
Man, if you could go ahead and type how people can, I don't know, if they want to connect with you, follow you, find you, something like that. Again, I want to connect networks and networks. While you're typing, I want to tell you guys a little story, man, because again, this is a brother I call, you know what I'm saying? He on my 911 list. He on my emergency contact list. And when I wrote my book, I reached out to him, was like, hey, man, because you got, listen, guys, hopefully you got people in your life who you can really chop it up with on a serious level. Like, you know what I mean? We cool and all that stuff. We might, hit the go shoot some basketball or whatever. But I really can call him when I need some advice or wise counsel. Everybody put in counsel, wise counsel. So I contacted, like, man, I got this book and I want to, you know what I'm saying? Here's what I want to do with it. And then he started giving me these ideas about, well, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. So he actually helped me set up my sales funnel when I wrote my book. And when I told him, I said, well, the book ain't written yet. And he was like, well, that don't matter. He said, do you got a cover? If you got a cover, then you can sell it. So he's actually a catalyst to how I was able to sell over 500 books without having written a page of that book, and which actually helped finance that book. So a lot of you guys may not know that part of the story when it comes to the Black Billionaires Club. We were actually able to sell over 500 books without actually having written a book, and that actually helped finance the project. And so when I tell you, a lot of times you just need an idea, the right people, and execution, and money is waiting on you. It is waiting on you. And so so he helped me with that sales funnel. He's been such a great resource, and we've been able to corral these resources in the Black Billionaires Club. This is Black Man Monday, Brother Cortez. Love for you to share, 2021, some words that you have for the Black man here today.
Yeah, I was listening to the tail end of Brian Keith McNeill, man. I just love him and his wife, Lisa. They just crushing it, man. Every time I turn around, they're doing bigger, bolder things. And, it's a call to action for Black men. And I'm going to say this, and I hope I can say this to brothers and we could still be friends, but you can't afford to watch 21 hours of football every single week, Black man. Not that you don't need a place of escape, right? Because I know that's why we watch football. That's why we get sucked into different series. I was watching a little bit of Power Ghost or whatever the second installment is tonight. So I get that. But when you think about the amount of time that we are devoting to things that are not helping us move the culture forward, but more importantly, not helping us move our families forward, I would say look at your E to E ratio coming from the great George C. Frazier, right? Your education to entertainment ratio. Now, if you tell me, Evan, that Cortez, yeah, I did watch 21 hours of football this week, but I also spent 21 hours in study and meditation, and I learned a new skill this week, then I don't have anything to say, right? But if you are spending 21 hours in front of a television or doing something that is not productive, and you're not spending any time trying to develop a new skill, you're not spending any time trying to develop relationships, you're not spending any time trying to take your family and your legacy to the next level, I would say evaluate your E to E ratio, and not just time-wise. If you spend $150 a month on your cable package, you should also be spending $150 a month on your education to gain a new skill, whether that's a financial education, whether that is a business education, whether that is a leadership education, a personal growth, whatever it is. If you're investing money in entertainment, you should at least be matching the same amount of money you're spending on entertainment, you should be spending on education. And I promise you, Black man, if you start tapping into this intellectual capital, right? We often talk about 1.2, 1.6, 1.8 trillion dollars in spending capital. But the intellectual capital that we have, Evan, you can't even quantify that, man. It's so valuable. So I would say to the brothers out there, you have it in you. You have the courage. You have the skill. You have the access to people around you to do some amazing things. Now it's time for you to step up and do those things. And I know the scariest part about that is coming to the realization that you will ultimately have to leave some people behind. Listen, man, all you can do for some people is extend an invitation. That's it. When I started to elevate and go in a different direction, I didn't leave my friends behind because they had an invitation, and it's still open today to come along with me. I just couldn't stop and wait on them. And that's what I would advise my brothers to do today. Invest some time, energy, and effort and growing your intellectual capital. But at the same time, you've got some intellectual capital right now that if you package and present that to the marketplace, it can create a stream of income for you that you own and control. And there's nothing like having income that you own and control.
Absolutely, man. I would actually, also say that it's easy to talk about what others are doing to us as Black men, but it seems very difficult to take responsibility of what we're doing to ourselves.
Yeah.
And, I love the prayer where we say, "Hey, allow me to focus on what I can control," and as long as I'm controlling that, and I'm maximizing or mastering that, those things that I control, how I deal with myself, how I handle myself, how I manage myself, how I deal with other people, right? There's still going to be forces that are against us, but they will not overcome us because we have inner strength that we've developed through our development, right? So let's not focus so much on what others are doing, especially when we are not willing to focus on what we are doing to ourselves and to each other. Man, let me bring in Brian K. McNeill. Man, he was kind enough to wait on us because he said, "Man, Brother Cortez on, I'm gonna stick on."
My man.
You got it on mute, brother Brian. There
Cortez, you rocked, man. I took several notes. Right. I love that E to E ratio, man. That makes so much sense to me. I love you spending $150 on cable.
That's George C. Frazier. I can't take credit for it, but it resonated.
Well, you give him credit. But you shared it with me tonight.
So much when I heard him say that, I was like, yes, we've got to look at that.
George is a friend of mine. What George taught me this year, he's talking about our age. He's talking about the most productive decades of your life. What George Frazier taught me. And he says the 3 most productive decades of your life. He taught me that the 3rd most productive decade of your life is between 50 and 60. You know, he said the 2nd most productive decade of your life is between 70 and 80. And he said the single most productive decade of your life between 60 and 70. And I'm 53 now. And what it meant, he said the first 50 years of your life is for learning. And then second 50 years is for earning. So I felt like I'm a baby in the game now. All of us are really, you know, we're still learning. But I wanted to come back on because I wanted to show, first off, I got some cool friends. Okay, Evan and Cortez Springer, I count you guys as my friends, man. Great friends. Thank you.
Awesome. Likewise, man. There's nothing like the conversations that we have.
Amazing.
And, man, you guys are crushing it. I sneak a peek into the show every morning when I can. But, man, I just love what you guys are doing and how you're doing it. Individually crushing it and then crushing it together as a couple, man. And more people need to see that and know that it is possible to work with your mate on that level and have success. It's just unheard of the amount of success that, you know, like the good book says, man, if one could put 1,000 to flight, 2 could put 10,000 to flight. And when those 2 happen to be soulmates like you are, then y'all putting 100,000 to flight.
Absolutely, man. For those that are joining us again, Black Man Monday, you know, sometimes you just gotta take a screenshot. You see what we're doing here, man. You got black men that you have formed a bond. We've all met, through this thing called the internet, developed relationships, watched each other grow and been a part of that growth and helped each other to grow as well. And I think that's the true definition of what it is to be a family in a sense. In the comments below, I'd love for you to share a takeaway that you have for tonight. I don't do this just to do this. Obviously, as I said, main point is to inspire you, but also want to make sure that you got something from it. You've got a lot of nuggets that came from the mouths of all of us. And hopefully there's at least one thing that spoke to you more so than the other. I'd love for you to put that in the comments below. We love to give people roses while they're still here. So let us know that in the comments below. Brother Brian, when it comes to you, man, you know, and you just mentioned a few things, man, but really, what's your feeling of this show that we call Black Man Monday, man? Because I just kicked it back off, said we got to do it. I got to be more consistent with it as well.
I want you to be more consistent with it because it's important. It's important. And even I would even say to the people on here tonight, invite your teenagers onto the show. Let your teenagers see these black men doing things. When I go into schools, very, very rarely do they even get black men come and visit and speak. It seems to me a theme tonight is the value of mentors and the value of study. You know, Cortez banged that drum so hard. I banged that drum as well. You know, but we can't do this in our own strength, man. We got to keep learning some stuff. We got to keep ourselves getting better. No one can maintain. There's no maintaining, either improving or sinking. That's just that. You know, so I'm grateful that my brother co-signed on that studying thing so much. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. That's Brian K. McNeill, the sales confidence coach. I'll pop up. I'll try to highlight his, Facebook be tripping on some of these links.
They do. Facebook is a problem for me now, you know, but LinkedIn, I just started my Instagram back also. So okay. I'm following you
online as well. And brother Cortez, same question to you, man. What value you getting out of Black Man Monday, and what's your takeaway from tonight?
It is such a needed platform. There's so many of us doing amazing things, and the thing about being an executioner, a lot of times we busy executing. So nobody gets to see, and we don't slow down to highlight and pat ourselves on the back So in a vacuum, it seems like brothers ain't doing nothing. It seems like brothers definitely ain't doing nothing together. But when you can have a platform like this and you can highlight stories about how I helped you and how Brian Keith helped me overcome my fear of sales, right? He taught me the sin of the desert, changed my whole perspective on selling, right? And when you can not only showcase brothers doing amazing things, but then how we do amazing things together, it's unheard of, brother. And we're all going to do our part in helping to blow this platform up so that the tens of millions of young brothers who are out there saying, man, I'm out here trapping, but I don't want to be trapping. I wish I just had another way to bring some income in. I would rather do that. Well, guess what? They'll be able to tune into a Black Man Mondays and hear how they can use the internet, hear how they can overcome objections with selling, hear how they can get into real estate when you have Brother Amar and his queen on, and hear how they could use e-commerce and start selling products and services and not have to sell drugs or pimp, rob, steal, or whatever they're doing. This platform is that place. We just got to do our parts and make it bigger and more visible.
Absolutely, man. Black Man Mondays to me, man, is really connecting networks to networks. So very, it's such a precious time because, like you just brought that to my mind, how we are busy being productive and creating and building, and so to even have an hour of our day on a Monday to kind of corral and let other people see that we exist. So very valuable, and I hope that those that are watching in the future get much value out of this. And we must do a better job of putting a positive light in the media about who we are, what we represent, and what we do. And so if you about it, that means that you've hit that like button, you've hit that share button. You may have tagged a brother so that he can be inspired. Because here's the thing, I want to talk to the sisters real quick. I'm pretty sure you might be connected to some brothers who might be down and out. And what I mean by that is they once had some great ambition, but then they kind of disappeared off the radar. That probably means they kind of going through something internally. So hopefully you've hit that, you've tagged those brothers, because you might not be the one to help them get out of that down spiral. It might need to be some other brothers that they can be inspired by. And that's going to help you if you're in a relationship with that brother or a friend of that brother, or whatever the case may be. So hopefully you've done that as well, man. But this is what we got. We'll be back next week for the show. Mr. Brian K. McNeill, again, any last words before we close this thing out?
Yes, I appreciate you giving me these last words, because I was sitting here chomping at the bit. But men do need men. Men do need men. The person you described who at one time had light and ambition and fire, sometimes life kicks his butt enough times. That man, life has kicked his butt enough times that he gets beaten down. He doesn't try. And he really does need a man. He really does need another brother to help him out. Men do need men. Superman is a myth, and men tend to cry in the dark. So brothers, please, please, please find yourself an arena where men can be men and talk to each other as men. We need each other. We need each other so much.
Absolutely, man. Thanks so much, Brian K. McNeill, the sales confidence coach. H. Cortez, in last words before we close this thing out.
Yeah, man. Just always remember, the good book talks about no weapon formed against you shall prosper. I want y'all to really understand what it's saying, though. The weapon will be formed and it will be used. It just won't prosper. Might knock you down, but it's not going to knock you out. So get up, like Brian said, get around some strong brothers who are going to lift you up, man. I love when Evan gives his closing statement. But yeah, understand that every vision must be tested for authenticity. Now that you know that the test is coming, you should be able to pass it with flying colors. You know that the weapon's going to be formed, but they're not going to prosper. They're not going to win. It's going to hurt you, but you got to know that you got enough in you to make it.
Absolutely, man. This is Black Man Monday. I want to say, man, to all of our brothers out there, we appreciate you, adore you, love you. Look forward to all the greatness that is within you coming out. If you do need some assistance, some help, man, make sure you reach out. If it's not us, reach out to another brother, that uncle, that coach, that whoever it is, to help you get to ultimately to where you want to be and where you should be in your rightful position as king on the throne. We will be back on Wednesday. We got Black Man Monday, but we got Black Woman Wednesday too. So don't think we got Black Woman Wednesday coming on Wednesday. So looking forward to that. I want you guys to remember this, that it takes a village. It starts with us. Let's build as we climb together. We all we got, beautiful people. Matter of fact, we all we need. And thank God that's more than enough. Until next episode, you know what time it is. Mr. DJ, hit the music.
The new Black Wall Street. Thanks you for joining the show. We gave a lot of great tips, but it's time to go. Take the knowledge we shared, hope you use it and grow. We will see you all there at the next episode of The New Black Wall Street. The New Black Wall